fun things about being a fish guy or being exposed to all of this aquarium related stuff is you get a chance to see a number of things that most hobbyists and certainly most of the public never really do get a chance to see or simply don't think about. This particular tank for the last year has been seahorses, and unfortunately my Bart Simpson customer wanted yellow seahorses and nobody seemed to have them, at least tank raised versions. So I ended up selling her the 4 yellow seahorses that I had, which leaves this tank empty. And so we're looking for something else to put in there, and I spotted something at the fish wholesalers about a month ago that really intrigued me, and the last 2 times I've been down there I've made it a point to go look at them. I don't know what the cost is yet, but I have a basic understanding from what literature I've read as to how to house or keep them. So what I'm interested in is garden eels. When you watch Jacques Cousteau or pictures of the bottom of the ocean, there's all those little patches, sandy patches, with all those little snake or eel looking things poking up out of the sand. So we're going to convert this former seahorse tank into a garden eel tank. Now we've done a little basic research and we found that garden eels wiggle their way down into that sand bed tail first. So the point is that we have to have a fairly deep sand bed. Well, we picked up about 50 pounds of live sand, live Florida sand, the real stuff, the other day, and I need to get the tank cleaned up. So the first step is cleaning the tank. The second step will be get all that live sand, that deeper sand bed into the tank.
After removing the canopy from the top of the aquarium, giving us access into the top of the aquarium, we're going to go ahead and start cleaning the inside. This being an acrylic aquarium, we have to be careful and be aware of the materials that we're using to clean the tank with, as well as where we are in relationship to that gravel or sand layer.
We've got a few pieces of live rock in the tank that we're going to temporarily remove.
It's these larger rocks, as well as the gravel or sand down at the bottom of the tank, that could easily scratch the aquarium, whether it be the rocks getting pushed up against the side of the tank, or the gravel or sand getting trapped in the cleaning pad that we're using to clean the tank with. We have to be careful, because if we're not paying attention, very easily we could have Zorro across the aquarium. Zorro being the results of switchbacks from gravel scratching the aquarium itself. And with the interior cleaning portion completed, we're now going to go ahead and vacuum the remaining sand in the tank and try to extract what previous debris we've missed. And after draining out a couple of buckets of old dirty water and discarding it, we're now going to go ahead and put new salt water back into the tank. As a result of pouring the water back into the tank on top of the gravel, we're going to end up stirring up that gravel or sand, thus suspending a lot of debris or sediment into the water. One could take and put a dinner plate down at the bottom, or even a small bowl, to catch the concussion of the water from the 5-gallon bucket being poured into the tank, blasting the sand around. You'll still end up with stirred up sand or gravel to a minor debris, but not as bad.
So we've replaced about 80% of the water with new real ocean water into the tank. We've now got 50 pounds of live sand to create that deep or thick sand bed for the garden eels. We're going to put that into the tank now.
I've selected live sand for this particular application, but I don't believe that the garden eels would actually need any of the life within the sand to survive. I believe that they're feeders of planktonic food that floats on by them. The important issue really is the depth of the sand. The eels are 6 to 8 inches long and would prefer to be completely vertical in the tube that they create. I can't afford to create that deep a sand bed in this tank, and it wouldn't really look that attractive. What I am striving for is 3 to 4 inches, and unfortunately the eels will have to curve their tail down at the bottom.
So we put 4 bags, or a total of 50 pounds of live sand in the tank. You can see it's kind of stirred things up, so we're now going to plug in the pump. We'll put a filter pad in the back to help trap out those particles, and within the next 12 to 24 hours, it'll clear up on its own.
That filter pad goes into the filter compartment that's built into the backside of the tank. This is another manufacturer's product that I modified specifically for seahorse applications. The advantage is it's an all-in-one tank. The filter system's built into the backside of the tank. Make sure to come on back for part 2 as we add the decorations and acclimate the garden eels to the tank.